Aloha, everyone. Welcome to today's April 28th, 2025 regular meeting of the Honolulu Board of Water Supply. I am Vice Chair Jonathan Kanashiro. Before beginning today's meeting, I'd like to state that our board is dedicated to providing safe, dependable, and affordable supply of water now and into the future. At this time, we would like to share a brief recording with reminders on the public participation, as well as virtual meeting regulations for board members as required by law.
Materials for this meeting under HRS Section 92-7.5 are accessible at boardofwatersupply.com/boardmeetings. The public may attend this meeting in person at the BWS Public Service Building, located at 630 South Beretania Street. The public may also view a live stream of today's meeting on our website at boardofwatersupply.com/live. We have been accepting written or oral testimony for today's meeting. Instructions and an online submittal form are available at boardofwatersupply.com/testimony. The deadline to submit advanced written testimony has passed. Testimony received by noon today have been distributed to the board members. We will continue to accept written testimony today through our online form. Oral testimony in person or remotely will be accepted during today's meeting. To facilitate as much in-person and remote testimony as reasonably possible during the time allotted, pre-registration and submittal of a written version of testimony at boardofwatersupply.com/testimony is strongly encouraged. To testify in person, please register using our online form or come to the Public Service Building at 630 South Beretania Street. We have a representative in the lobby to provide intake and further instructions. To request to testify remotely, please complete the online form at boardofwatersupply.com/testimony. Requesters will receive an email containing links and instructions to join the Zoom session. Testifiers will have 2 minutes to state their position. A timekeeper will alert testifiers when there is 1 minute remaining. Once the 2 minutes are up, please summarize to allow time for questions from the board. Then, make room for the next testifier. Board members attending any board meeting remotely must be visible to the public to be considered present and meet quorum guidelines. Board members participating remotely must also disclose their location and anyone present at their location during roll call. Meeting participants who are calling or video conferencing in, please mute your microphone when you're not speaking. If you have a question, comment, or wish to enter or second a motion on an action item, please unmute your microphone and identify yourself before continuing to speak. If you encounter technical issues during today's meeting, please use the Zoom chat to send a direct message to our support team. Their names are listed in the message to all participants. To open the chat window, please click on the text bubble icon on the Zoom toolbar.
All right, let's take a moment to take roll call of the board members. When I call your name, please say aye, and if attending remotely, make appropriate disclosures. Chair Naalehu Anthony is excused. Board member Brian Andaya.
I'm at home in my office by myself.
Aloha. Board member Kehaulani Pu'u.
Aloha, present and also alone in my office.
Aloha. Board member Jean Albano.
I'm in my office alone.
Good afternoon. Board member Edwin Sniffen.
Aloha, Ed Sniffen in my office alone.
Aloha. And the board with me today is board member Lance Wilhelm. Manager Ernie Lau.
Aloha.
Deputy Manager Erwin Kwata is excused. Board Secretary Joy Cruz Achu.
Here.
Manager Secretary Kimberly Kawai.
Here.
Information Specialist Wayne Maria. Hello. Thank you. Joining us by Zoom are Jeff Lau and Jessica Wong, both from the City and County Court Counsel Department. We have 3 items on our action agenda today. The first is approval of minutes of the regular meeting held on March 24th, 2025. I'd like to now entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Jean. It's been moved and seconded by Lance and Jean. Are there any corrections, addition, amendments, or discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Here. Board Member Brandon Dial,
Aye.
Board Member Lance Warren,
Aye.
Board Member Kehaulani Tulu,
Aye.
Board Member Edwin Sniffen,
Abstain.
Board Member Gina Bono,
Aye.
and Vice Chair Jonathan Conachero.
Aye.
Chair motion passes with, or I'm sorry, Vice Chair motion passes with 5 ayes and 1 abstention.
Thank you. Please note for the record. Okay, thank you. Item number 2, adoption of resolution number 998, 2025, acceptance of gift to the Board of Water Supply from a native Hawaiian artist, Hui, for murals on Board of Water Supply structures. Vice Chair recognizes Kathleen Elliott Pahanui.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Appreciate it. The Board of Water Supply requests the board's acceptance of a gift in the amount of $100,000 for murals to be painted on BWS structures located around and near the east side of the island of Oahu. The applicants are applying to the Native Arts Plus Culture Foundation for their Transformative Change in Indigenous Arts Grant. They have selected the BWS as a beneficiary due to the BWS's work on protecting our precious vibe through the Red Hill crisis. The applicants are a hui of Native Hawaiian artists led by Trinity Asing and Koloi Keao Anthony, who have worked with the city and county of Honolulu's Wahipana project. The purpose of the mural project is to address the environmental crisis caused by leaks at the Red Hill underground fuel tank storage facility and to honor the cultural significance that water has in Native Hawaiian life. The mural's themes will highlight water as a sacred and vital element in the Hawaiian culture, tell stories of environmental justice, tell stories of the cultural significance of water, and raise awareness of the challenges caused by the Red Hill fuel leaks. There will be no cost to the BWS as this project will be fully funded through the grant. Cost to the team leading the project will include artist stipends, supplies, and transportation. Subject matter and community input will be solicited as outlined in our mural directive. We appreciate your consideration of this request. So just a couple more comments. We've received mural requests in the past, and so this is something new for us. And we see this as a pilot because we do want to make sure that whatever we do does not negatively impact on our other staff in divisions in terms of maintenance and things like that. But we do think there is value in exploring this. We are working on a mural directive for the manager's review and approval, and I should have that to him shortly. But as they are applying for this grant, they do need to have a partner, and so this grant is due May 1st from them. So we don't know yet that they will get the grant, but we're trying to be supportive. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you. Board members, any questions, comments?
I'm just sort of curious, where would they? Do you have an idea of where you have murals?
Well, as stated, we're looking at the east side and maybe some areas around Salt Lake. Everything will be subject to manager approval and also outreach to the community as well.
Most likely probably water tanks.
Like on the water.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
is it important that in accepting the grant, we make clear it's subject to rules that have not yet been formulated? It's only because you haven't really approved this directive yet.
Yeah, the grant application won't involve us. It'll be the artists actually applying for the grant. And that helps be subject to the terms and conditions of the grant.
Yeah.
But ultimately, they need our permission and
Sure.
what can be allowed or
Use-
can't be allowed.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I did meet with KL on this, and I made it clear that it's subject to our terms and conditions.
I would make that motion as long as it's clear. It's sort of subject to rules that have not yet been developed. So,
Or procedures.
yeah, procedures are going to be developed. So I would
Appreciate that. That's great.
to make that.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Any questions, comments?
I have a question.
Board
And
member
you know,
Fu?
so I heard that you folks are gonna come up with some conditions and stuff. I guess my question is, do we have criteria? You know, even for just that initial consideration of artwork that's being considered by the board or by the Board of Water Supply?
That will be covered in the directive that we are working on.
Mahalo.
And-
Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to now enter a motion to approve. Thank you. Board Member
Second.
Lance, second? Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Board Member Ed. Thank you. It's been moved and seconded by Board Member Lance and Board Member Ed. Are there any corrections, additions, amendments, or discussion? Madam Secretary, roll call vote, please.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Board Member Brandon Diane,
Aye.
Board Member Lance Wilhelm,
Aye.
Board Member Kehaulani Tuhu,
Aye.
Board Member Edwin Sniffen,
Aye.
Board Member Gina Vano,
Aye.
and Vice Chair Jonathan Conestro.
Aye.
Vice Chair, motion passes with 6 ayes.
Thank you. Please note for record. Item number 3, authorizing a public hearing to consider the proposed fiscal year 2025 to 2026 operating and capital improvement program budget. Vice Chair recognizes Raylene Nakabayashi.
Hello.
So,
We're recommending the board authorize a public hearing for 2:00 PM on Tuesday, May 27, 2025, to consider the resolution to adopt both the proposed operating and capital improvement program budgets for the fiscal year that begins on July 1st, 2025 and ends on June 30, 2026. We've got a budget workshop scheduled for May 5th at 2:00. And attached to the letter is a draft of the notice of public hearing. So it just covers in the beginning part, the date, the time, the where, and then the normal notice information, how testimony may be submitted. And if you need accommodations, how you can contact us to get accommodations. Oh, and also, sorry, where the board materials will be. But I'm available for any questions.
thank you. Any questions, board members? So this is just an authorization for the public hearing, right?
Yep, this is just to authorize that prior to the regular meeting of the board on May 27th, we'll hold a public hearing to take action on the budget itself.
Thank you. Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve.
Vice
I
Chair,
have a
so moved.
question.
Oh,
Sorry. So
Madam
as a
Cole?
new member, do we have Kuleana for the hearing? Or this is just you folks hold and manage that and as it leads up to our next board meeting?
The public hearing will be conducted just prior to the next regular meeting of the board. So all the board members will be present during the public hearing. We'll do a presentation of the proposed budget. Then if the board feels comfortable at the regular meeting, which occurs right after the public hearing is closed, then at the regular meeting of the board can take an action. It'll be a 4-action item there to approve, or if the board chooses to say, go back and modify the budget, then we'll come back to the board in June. At the beginning of May, we'll hold a budget workshop, KHO, on May 5th. I think the date is May 5th. And in that, we'll cover what's in the proposed budget and seek any kind of input from the board. And also, it'll be open to the public to provide testimony if they would like to. And that's usually the flow of things. Very different from the city council administration budget process. I really appreciate the board, and our process it's very effective, efficient.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mahalo.
thank you. I think board member Sniffen had a question or comment.
No, just
Oh,
I made the motion.
oh, okay, thank you. Okay, thank you for the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Thank you, Lance. Yeah. Thank you. It's been moved and seconded by board member Sniffen and board member Willem. Are there any corrections, additions, amendments, or discussion? Hearing none, Madam Secretary, roll call vote, please.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Board Member Brandon Zaya,
Aye.
Board Member Lance Wilhelm,
Aye.
Board Member Kehaulani Kuhu,
Aye.
Board Member Edwin Sniffen,
Aye.
Board Member Gina Alvano,
Aye.
and Vice Chair Jonathan Canashiro.
Aye.
Vice Chair, motion passes with 6 ayes.
Thank you. Please note for the record. We'll now move on to the items for information. We have 4 items. Item number 1, update on the Board of Water Supply's response to the potential impacts of the Red Hill fuel contamination. Vice Chair recognizes Joyce Lin.
Chair, and good afternoon, board members. This is your April 2025 Red Hill update. So here are a list of the public engagement and meetings that we've attended this past month. Specifically with the Fuel Tank Advisory Committee meeting, there was a motion introduced and passed to increase the existing 2 meetings a year to 4 meetings. So there will be 2 virtual meetings and 2 in-person hybrid meeting. Logistics for the meetings are still in the works, but this is a very exciting new change to the FTAC. As we move into remediation, this increased frequency to meet will allow for more open discussions between the regulators, the community, and the Board of Water Supply. And so big mahalo to our Senator Mike Gabbard, Representative Nicole Lowen, also the Department of Land and Natural Resources and CWRM, Commission on Water Resources, who all were in favor of this motion, as well as our community representatives, Dr. Melanie Lau and Ashley Nishihara, who also voted yes for this motion. So just some updates that was discussed during the FTAC by the Navy Closure Task Force. Their extended drinking water monitoring ended at the end of March. The water system itself is returning to their regular compliance testings and monitoring. There is a closeout summary report for that monitoring that is expected to be available for the public to look at sometime in the fall of this year. And there were discussions about the Navy IAEA Halava shaft coming back online. The treatment system that is installed for the facility is set to treat PFAS, PAHs, and TPH. And just slight update from that diagram on the left, as of April 24th, there is actually a total of 1,309 gallons of residual fuel removed from the facility. This residual fuel was removed from tank number 3 that they had just recently ventilated. And so, yeah, so that's good. Work in terms of cleaning the tanks are ongoing and progressing. There is a pipeline removal plan under review by the regulators, EPA and DOH. And there is a plan to start removing the pipeline sometime in the fall of this year. The goal is to have all of the pipelines removed by 2028. And again, these are some slides from the Fuel Tank Advisory Committee meeting. I thought this would be a very good visualization for board members to see the recent UH Manoa tracer study. So all of the little blue dots, blue bubbles, are monitoring wells that are being used in this tracer study. And there's 2 green little bubbles. The one more Malka is the monitoring well number 8 that the tracer study, the rhodamine water tracer was introduced into the aquifer. So that's where they injected the dye into it. And the other green dot, that is where the Red Hill shaft is. And that is where they had expected to have detection shortly after introduction of the tracer. Next, we have monitoring wells that have transducers installed, and these transducers are essentially what is used to help detect the tracer in the monitoring wells as the tracer moves through the aquifer. Here, all of the pink dots are where they are actively doing water sampling. So they're taking water samples and testing it to see if they can find any of the tracers. On the table on the left actually shows all of the results. So you'll see that there's a lot of non-detects, and to date, they have not detected any tracers in any of the monitoring wells. Here are the carbon packs that are installed at all of the monitoring wells. I sort of put over a red circle on the yellow. The red circles on monitoring wells that they did get a carbon pack detect, and the results are shown in the table below. So in summary, as of right now, the study is still ongoing and more time is needed to come up to a conclusion due to the non-detects that they've been experiencing. So they're looking at next steps on how they may extend this study. So we are looking forward to more results that they are coming up in the coming months. Listed here are upcoming events, and apologies, the first two events have already passed, which we attended the subject matter expert meeting as well as the CRI. I just found out that there is actually a well reactivation webinar scheduled for tomorrow night, but they do have the open house in May of 21st. And that is my update for this month. I'm available for any questions.
Thank you. Members, any questions? I have a question. Can you go back to the carbon packing slide? But what is that?
So it's like a little small GAC pack that they just let the water run through.
Detection? Way to detect?
It's a way to see if any tracer had passed through, but it's not really a great indicator of when it came in contact because it sort of just kind of collects any sort of tracer as it passes.
Yeah, the carbon acts like a sponge soaking up this tracer material, and then they test the carbon pack. But Joyce, that's showing that some of this rhodamine dye traces in the activated carbon packs was detected even in monitor well number 2 in RHP 101, which is more Malka, more uphill of the where they introduced the dye at Red Hit RHMW08. And they had 50 pounds of this rhodamine dye diluted in water. I don't know how many thousand gallons of water, and then forced it into the formation and then hoped to pick it up at Red Hill Shaft, which is RHWS, but actually found it not in Red Hill Shaft. But found it at locations around Red Hill Shaft and found it in locations uphill the monitor on number 8.
So what do you start to conclude from the initial results?
Not sure what to conclude, but the researchers, people at the UH, they did note that there may have been some contaminations from the actual testing.
Cross-contamination.
From the
study
itself might be in question, or the methods.
Some of the results because of potential cross-contamination, but I think one thing it's saying that the water is not flowing as quickly as they thought it was, because they thought the flow direction was from Red Hill monitor number 8 toward Red Hill Shaft, and that should be picked up within weeks of the introduction of the dye.
That was the first assumption. There were two hypotheses made when they first entered this study. One was that it was a closed off aquifer so that you would actually detect the tracer dyes within a couple of weeks, very short term. However, when that did not happen, they said it's possible that it's the second hypothesis, which is it's actually going to be a more slow detection. So they're anticipating about 3 to 6 months of when they would actually detect the tracer. So, they first introduced the dye on February 10th. So 3 months to 6 months after that, they may see a detection.
And I know initially you guys said that the UH never really contacted you prior to the study, but you were going to try to collaborate or talk with them.
Yes, so we are,
That's positive.
right, we are having monthly meetings with Dr. Tomas, who is leading this study. And he's been sort of updating us. We actually just met last Thursday, but at that meeting, he just updated us and said that they haven't really detected any of the tracer as they had initially anticipated. So
So it's been good. The monthly updates provided us more information.
That's great.
Yeah. I think the other thing maybe is that the geology is it's very complex. And I think it's maybe perhaps showing that it isn't as straightforward as some people may think.
Okay. Any questions? Any other questions? Thank you, Joyce. Thank you.
I do want to acknowledge Joyce for standing in for me at the Fuel Tank Advisory Committee meeting with coordinated by the Department of Health. Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you. Okay. Next item for information, number 2, recruitment status, Michelle Thomas, or Vice Chair recognizes Michelle Thomas, sorry.
Oh, the chair, were there any testifiers?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Until?
No, there was no testimony.
Okay.
Okay, good. See, I knew her.
No, it's okay. But usually Red Hills.
I knew her. Thank you. Next item, recruitment status, Vice Chair recognizes Michelle Thomas.
Good afternoon, Vice Chair and board members. My name is Michelle Thomas. I'm the Chief Human Resources Officer for the Board of Water Supply. I'm here to give you the recruitment status update for the period of January 2025 to March 2025. For the period of January 2025 to March 2025, we had 22 new hires, 9 promotions, 17 separations, and 7 canceled requests. What you see here is a little bit of presentation regarding the various BWS recruitment activities that have been going on over the last quarter. I wanted to give you just a brief update on that, so you folks can understand the kind of work that we've been doing in human resources. We continue to make concerted efforts in our recruitment. We are continuing to work with community partners and participate in a variety of events to promote our vacancies. Some of the events that the BWS participated in over the last quarter included, in February, we were part of the Hawaiian Airlines 2025 Job Matching Initiative, which was a virtual meet and greet with folks that were Hawaiian Airlines employees that were potentially impacted by the merger with Alaska Airlines. We provided information to Hawaiian Airlines regarding what our needs are, and then they looked at their candidates that they have, their employees, to see if we had any employees that had the right skills and background that could potentially be good candidates for positions that we have vacant at the Board of Water Supply. Additionally, we participated in the February 20th Engineering Career Fair with UH. We participate in this career fair every year. And as you can see in front on this slide, these are some examples of the kind of engagement that we had at that particular job fair. We also participated in a hiring event with the cooperative event with the city and county of Honolulu. It was the Work Hawaii hiring event on March 15th. And we also worked in coordination with the city and the state to participate in a joint effort called Operation Hire Hawaii in April, on April 11th and 12th. 2025, in which we had opportunity to engage with folks who have been displaced by the recent federal cuts. In addition to our BWS recruiting activities, we've also been continuing to promote our various employment opportunities through our social media and through our industry partner. Kathleen Elliott Pahinui, our communications officer for the BWS, will be providing a brief overview of what we have been doing in terms of marketing our job opportunities.
Okay, thank you, Michelle. Appreciate that. Okay, so we have since the federal cutbacks at the direction of the manager, we have been aggressively pushing our job availability through social media. And we've been doing pretty well. Really, what matters to us is how many people click through on a ad. For example, the one that says be a wide protector, the first one there. We had 785 views on Facebook, which meant we reached about 433 people, but we had 16 click-throughs. So that means 16 of those people who viewed it liked the ad enough. They wanted more information. We find LinkedIn to be a very strong social media platform for us. And on the Careers Essential one, we had 162 views and 10 click-throughs. And of course, LinkedIn is a job-focused type of app and social media platform. We're also doing Instagram, and we're doing little videos on Instagram, and those get a lot of interest from people and a high number of click-throughs. And then we also lightly do Nextdoor, which is a more localized app for neighborhoods. Thank you.
Here are a few other posts that the communications office as well also put up regarding some of our things that are going on at the Board of Water Supply, including our recent years of service, to kind of promote the fact that our employees are important to us and that they stay. And so, you know, we have a secure job, our career offerings for folks who are looking for a lifelong career path. Next up, if you'd like to plan to join us at the next event, we plan to participate in the city-sponsored upcoming Hawaii Career Expo, which is on April 30th, 2025 at the Blaisdell Center exhibitional. There will be a variety of jobs that will be featured for the BWS. Mainly the following civil service positions, which include the program administrator and assistant program administrator for our capital projects, field operations, and water systems operations divisions. Accountants at various levels, civil engineers at various levels, construction inspector and construction inspector aides, customer service reps, and departmental IT positions as well. The manager and several other representatives of our leadership team will be in attendance to provide their perspectives on what is working for the BWS and what working for the BWS is like to encourage job seekers to apply. And so we encourage any of you who have folks that you're aware of who may be qualified for some of our positions and may be interested to come out and visit with us and get more information. Thank you. That concludes our presentation. Any questions?
Thank you, Michelle. Board members, any questions?
I have a question. Michelle, how's the recruitment of the federal workers who are laid off? Any matriculation from that or anyone apply?
Honestly, we're unsure. We did get some engagement at the actual event that occurred in April, and folks looking for information for various different positions and such. But since the Department of Human Resources does our open recruitments for us, we really don't get those kinds of statistics. And there isn't any real mechanism for us to determine, you know, if they were a federal worker that was displaced, unless they disclose it on an application to a position or something like that. But we still want to take as much opportunity as we can to engage with the public to try to make sure that we are able to put our, you know, faces out there and really get people to know that there are opportunities at the Board of Water Supply.
See.
Brian, for your information, when I was at the job fair at the Blaisdell earlier this month, in March, actually, there was already some of the federal workers coming by, actually looking at trying to gauge what are their other opportunities. Some of them, you know, one person told me about 25% of their team had been laid off, and And yet they were somebody with a PhD and had been with the federal government for a while, but they're actually, I think, starting to look around and think about what are their options for their future.
Yeah, because I think even the retirement systems are separate, so they could theoretically, if they retire from the federal system, they could get their retirement and then, start earning, retirement benefits for the state.
Yeah, some of like I know one person that took the option to retire, and it's getting paid, I think, up to September 30th. But after that, they can always look for other opportunities to keep on working. So
But I think we've
it's-
lost a lot of engineers, especially to the feds because of the pay difference. So I don't know. I was thinking that would be a
maybe we
fruitful
can
ground.
get some back.
Yeah.
We'll cross our fingers.
Yeah, the city and the BWS have been working on different, strategies to try to, encourage folks from the federal government who have been displaced to come, work for the city. And, everything from, these hiring events as well as looking at whether or not there needs to be changes to compensation, as well as, looking at shortages in premium pay and things like that, that could potentially encourage folks to come. However, because it's kind of a systemic issue, we do have to take DHR's lead on any kind of discussions in this regard.
Understood. Real quick dumb question. Relocation assistance, that's not on the not in the cards.
Unfortunately, for most classes, it's not something that we can do. Although Ernie did ask the city if there was any way we could potentially explore that idea. However, we are government employees, and so it's unethical for us to offer things unless there is a specific, emergent need for that. And so there are, a couple of positions that, there isn't any other places to look for folks to fill those positions, except for on the mainland or outside of Hawaii, that have been authorized for that type of thing. But unfortunately, none of the positions at the Board of Water Supply meet that criteria right now.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? Board members? Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Kathleen.
Thank you.
Board Secretary Joy, any testimony?
No Vice Chair, no testimony on this item.
Thank you. Okay, next item number 3, status update of groundwater levels at all index stations. Vice Chair recognizes Mark Chan.
Okay, thank you, Vice Chair, members of the board. My name is Mark Chan. I'm with the Water Resources Division. I'll be giving the status update of groundwater levels at all index stations. 3 aquifer index stations were in low groundwater condition for the production month of March 2025. Wailua is in caution status. Kaimaki and Punlu are in alert status. And the monthly production average for March 2025 was 132.65 million gallons per day, which is slightly higher than March 2024 and also the 5-year monthly average. The Board of Water Supply rainfall index for the month of March 2025 was 44% of normal, with a 5-month moving average of 72%. And as of April 1st, the Hawaii Drought Monitor shows drought conditions across the entire island of Oahu, with abnormally dry conditions over most of the island, grading to moderate drought conditions along the windward coast and far eastern end of the island. Now, interestingly, the National Weather Service is forecasting above normal precipitation through June 2025, but it's been kind of an interesting year so far. And if I jump to the second to the last paragraph, it actually, to kind of quote from one of the summaries, the National Weather Service precipitation summary for March 2025 notes that March is normally one of the wettest months of the year, especially for the windward slopes of the state. It was not a normal March in 2025. Most of the NOAA rain gauges on Oahu had near to below average rainfall totals, with 2 consecutive dry months have offset the wet conditions of late January. And so as a result, you see some of it, you can see from there, yeah, the well below the normal rainfall, and we've kind of seen the equivalent then in terms of our head levels starting to kind of track that. So that's the report. Any questions?
Thank you, Mark. Board members, any questions? So this past month, it should kind of go, no, or?
Right, so we didn't have that much rain if you're thinking about the kind of events we had. I mean,
Oh.
this week, it was like a little bit here, a little bit there, but not like, yeah, it was
Yeah.
fine. So I'm not so sure we'd really see a big influence from that.
But the NOAA forecast for the June 2025, that's set in the beginning of the year, or is that like a most recent?
Shoot, I forgot exactly when it was set, but yeah, it's set a few months in advance, you're right.
Yeah.
And then even as this year has progressed, as we've talked to representatives from National Weather Service, they've even said, you know, their forecasts have been kind of thrown off, and it's just the way it has been, yeah.
Yeah, it's been, sometimes there's high intensity rainstorm events and then dry.
Yeah,
And then, you know, these intense storms instead of the best rain is one that's not too heavy. That's light and kind of often like usually live in the back of Manoa, and the best rain I think would be at night. Just a good drizzle, steady rain.
Right.
So less of it runs into the ocean, but boy, this weekend was like certain times it was like downpours and then dry and hot.
yeah.
The other factor is the temperatures have been warmer too lately, which like Barry mentioned, higher evapotranspiration rates. Just so when it gets hotter.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you.
Smart.
Board Secretary Joy, any testimony?
No, Vice Chair, no testimony on this item.
Thank you. Okay, last item, water main repair report for March 2025. Vice Chair recognizes Wayne Tello.
Good afternoon, Vice Chair and members. I have the water main and leak detection report for the month of March. Month of March, we had 24 main breaks, 6 were leaks and 18 was breaks. Leak detection report. We had 32 points of interest. Out of 32, we found 20 leaks. 5 were main leaks, 9 were meter coupling leaks, 1 leak on customer side, and 5 service leaks. That's my report. Any questions?
Members, any questions? Hearing none. Thank you, Wayne. Thank you.
Thank you.
Same.
Board Secretary, any testimony?
No, Vice Chair, no testimony on this item.
Okay, thank you. Okay, this brings us to the end of the regular board agenda today. If there is no other business, is there a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Thank you, Board Member Wilhelm.
Second.
Second. Thank you, Board Member Ed. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. All right, we stand adjourned.